Hello, my message today is really a short encouragement about developing an attitude of gratitude. Never more so have we needed to develop this in the season we're in when it's so easy to focus on all the things that are going around us. And yet, as Christians, we have this challenge also as part of our witness to have this attitude of gratitude. I read from Colossians 3. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace, and be thankful. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly, as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, spiritual songs, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. Psalm 147 says, sing to the Lord with grateful praise. Make music to our God on the harp. Jonah 2, it says, but I, with shouts of grateful praise, will sacrifice to you what I have vowed. I will make good. I will say, salvation comes from the Lord. So, grateful praise and sing with gratitude in your heart. These are encouragement to us from the scriptures. Of course, attitude is something what is an attitude? So it's not just being grateful. Once in a while, attitude is developing that natural response. It becomes a part of you that when something happens, your response is to show gratitude. I'll read two examples from the Bible. One is Jesus in Luke 17. Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, Jesus, Master, have pity on us. When he saw them, he said, go, show yourselves to the priests. And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. He was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, were not 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner? Then he said to him, go, rise. Your faith has made you well. That is a demonstration of that 10 were healed. It's not that the other 9 were not thankful, but they did not demonstrate it. They didn't feel it was needful to put in the effort to go and find Jesus and to say thank you to him. You see, gratitude goes that extra way to show we really appreciate what's been done for us. Second passage, 2 Kings. This is about the Shunammite woman in 2 Kings. One day, Elisha went to Shunem, and a well-to-do woman was there who urged him to stay for a meal. So whenever he came by, he stopped there to eat. She said to her husband, I know that this man who often comes our way is a holy man of God. Let's make a small room on the roof and put in it a bed and a table, a chair, and a lamp for him. Then he can stay there whenever he visits us. One day, when Elisha came, he went up to his room and lay down there. He said to his servant Gehazi, call the Shunammite. So he called her, and she stood before him. Elisha said to him, tell her, you have gone to all this trouble for us. Now what can be done for you? Can we speak on your behalf to the king or the commander of the army? She replied, I have a home among my own people. What can be done for her? Elisha asked Gehazi. Gehazi said, she has no son, and her husband is old. Then Elisha said, call her. So he called her, and she stood in the doorway. About this time next year, Elisha said, you will hold the son in your arms. No, my lord, she objected. Please, man of God, don't mislead yourself. But the woman became pregnant, and the next year, about the same time, she gave birth to a son, just as Elisha had told her. These are two examples of gratitude. The first was one of the 10 lepers that was healed, coming back to show Jesus gratitude. The trouble, the effort, coming back to really express his heart's gratitude to him. Then this is Elisha, the man of God. This time, you see, it doesn't matter whether you are a pastor, prophet, whatever you are. We must develop this attitude of gratitude. Here, Elisha, under no compulsion, but felt such gratitude for this woman. The woman had never asked anything of him. And here she called the servant and said, "What can we do for this woman? This is what she does for us every time we're around. She feeds us and provides a room for us. And of course, you know the reward. Gratitude can have such a reward. And when you show gratitude to what's done for you, it's amazing, isn't it? And so gratitude, let me say very quickly, gratitude, there are three aspects of it. What is it about? It's about appreciating what was done for you by somebody else. Of course, being thankful is part of it. Okay, saying thank you is part of it. But it's not just about the saying, it's really feeling it in your heart, appreciating what's been done for you. And of course, it even goes one step beyond that, as we saw in the example, going that extra mile, going to the effort. For Elisha, it was about doing something in return. And so one of the ways we express gratitude is doing something in return of what things have been done for us. Gratitude has a great reward with both God and man. When we show gratitude, there are two things it can do. You see, one, it can encourage the person who has done something good for you to do more because you've expressed. The person can see the impact it's had on you. And secondly, it can encourage that person to whom you've shown gratitude to continue to do good to others. So not then from just doing good to you, it spreads to others because they have seen what gratitude can do to people that we use. So gratitude can so much bless others, and it can come back to bless you too. In a way, I suppose our relationship with God needs to be filled with gratitude, as we saw in the account of the leper. So gratitude, we express it to God and we express it to other people. So how do we develop this attitude of gratitude? It doesn't come naturally to us because we're selfish by nature. And some of us, we take everything for granted. We have this attitude of, well, I'm entitled to it. And particularly in the younger generation, it's so easy for the need for gratitude associated with the value of things given to us. So if it's Christmas, if it's your birthday, you look at how much the present costs. And then you decide how to show whether you're grateful or not. And if you think it's not worth, well, okay, but gratitude is when it becomes an attitude, it becomes part of you. And so whether it's small thing or big thing, it makes no difference to you. You develop that attitude of being grateful. So let me ask you today, how grateful are you when others do generous acts towards you? Are you one of those that feels entitled to it and so struggles to truly appreciate what's been done? So, and unless, of course, it's expensive, then you say, well, how can I tell them? But it's an attitude we're talking today. And in the current culture of entitlement, we as people of God need to show something different. So it's wonderful to have this attitude of gratitude. It makes our lives so much more joyful. We begin to see the beauty. It's part of seeing the beautiful things in life. So very quickly, let me tell you some steps that you need to take. As I said, it's a short encouragement today. You may be one of